The sky was troubled, filled with a strange energy. Even after defeating the great shadow, something unsettling lingered in the air, as if their world was teetering on the brink of collapse. Finn and Layla stood amidst the ruins of a shattered land, sensing a force greater and darker than anything they had faced. "I feel something approaching, something enormous," Layla said, her eyes scanning the sky that seemed to crack under the influence of this dark energy. "We haven't truly defeated the darkness yet. This is merely the beginning of the real battle," Finn responded with determination, raising his hammer in readiness. Suddenly, the sky split open unexpectedly. A massive tear appeared on the horizon, emitting a dark blue light seeped with unbearable energy. It wasn't just a light. It was an opening to another realm, a world filled with darkness and despair. Through this tear emerged an enormous being, its vastness immeasurable, shrouded in flowing shadows. It resembled the monsters they had encountered before, but much more terrifying and destructive. Its head was massive, and its eyes glowed with a deep blue darkness. "Who are you?" Finn asked in a hushed voice, feeling the overwhelming presence of the creature before them. "I am the eternal ruler of shadows, from another dimension, where nothing living remains," the entity boomed, its voice echoing like thunder. Instantly, the monster unleashed a massive darkness that filled the surrounding space. Its rays caused cracks in the earth and destroyed everything within sight. There was nowhere to hide, no refuge, only devastation before their eyes. "We have to face it," Finn exclaimed, charging towards the beast with a mighty hammer. He struck it directly on its rocky body, but the creature was unfazed. On the contrary, it smirked ominously, its eyes glowing even more intensely. "You have no idea what you are up against, boy," the creature taunted, lifting its hand surrounded by clouds of darkness, ready to unleash a devastating force towards Finn. But Finn was quick enough to dodge the attack, and in a moment, he was running back towards the beast. At that moment, Layla chose to intervene. Rushing towards the creature, she aimed an arrow of eternal light at its heart. But the arrow vanished as it approached the beast, as if the darkness reabsorbed every ray of light aimed at it. "You cannot defeat me with this," declared the eternal ruler, sending waves of darkness crashing into everything in their path, causing the earth to crack and crumble. "We need to combine our powers together," Layla shouted, gathering all her energy in her hand. Seeing this, Finn decided to channel his power into one mightiest blow. He concentrated all his strength into his hammer, and soon it gathered the greatest momentum, striking the eternal ruler's body with the strongest hit. In the instant the hammer collided with the entity, the earth exploded, rocks shattering around them. But the monster, surprisingly, vanished into a swirl of darkness, only to reappear several meters away. "You will not stop me. The earth will not escape the grip of darkness," the eternal ruler proclaimed, raising his hands to the sky, surrounded by waves of shadows. Then, unexpectedly, the beast began drawing energy from the world itself, tearing the skies apart. The ground trembled beneath them, as if weakening under the hold of this destructive entity. "We must work together to open the gate that restrains his power," Finn urged, looking into Layla's eyes. Without hesitation, they began gathering their remaining energies, united in a circle of eternal light, while the monster stood before them, unleashing destructive blasts in every direction. "This is the chance," Layla said, unleashing a massive arrow of light into the heart of the beast. At that moment, her energy merged with Finn's, creating an attack like a storm shaking the earth. But when they thought they had finally won the battle, suddenly a gigantic wave of darkness swept over everything in its path and enveloped Finn and Layla. In an instant, they felt as though they were in another dimension, where there was no sound, no movement, only darkness and silence. He is not just a beast. He is the beginning of the destruction of worlds. Finn said in an exhausted voice, feeling the darkness enveloping him completely. But at that moment, not all hope was lost. Before them appeared a brilliant ray of light, as if the eternal crystal had finally been completed. This light began to flood the entire land, repelling every shadow attack approaching them. "This is the time," Finn declared, raising his hammer to the sky. And so, in the moment when all their power united, they rushed once more towards the eternal ruler, determined in their final battle that would decide the fate of worlds.